Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Prepare for the video games that you've never heard of in November 1982. We were last playing Epoch's latest handheld, Dracula. Let's see what our next game is. Oh, that sound means it's time for another Star Trek variant here on the Dragon 32. This is Dragon Trek by Salamander Software. And here's the box. One of the later boxes, but very, very well done. Dragon Trek, Salamander Software. Only the second game we've seen by Salamander here on Chronologically Gaming. The only other game has been Wizard War. So I'm excited to see what in the world they do with a Star Trek variant. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily look like they're totally ripping on Star Trek, at least on the front of the box. Flip it over the back, and yeah, okay, that's a little bit more like Star Trek. There isn't any William Shatners around here on the back. It has a lot of information on the back telling you what this game does and why you need to get this, aside from all the other Star Trek variants that are out there. Not to be confused with games based on Star Trek. I'm talking about the mainframe 1971 Star Trek game. So besides this box, we also got this amazing box. I believe this was the first release, and they realized, oh wait, no, he's got the Star Trek insignia on his shirt. We have to change it. But they should have kept this one. This one looks much better. Yeah, and there we have there's the whole thing. They even have Spock on the back of the original box. I love it. So cool. This marks the 61st Star Trek game that we played, based on the 1971 mainframe game. It's the strategy game that everyone has seen. This is the 61st one we've seen, and the third that's been on the Dragon 32. This game's the 40th game we've played for the Dragon 32. There's the example of the cassette tape for Dragon Trek. Oh wait, we have even a totally different box too. So several different boxes that Salamander Software brought out. Sweet, with an example of the screenshot. That's right, Brad, it's not Spock, that was Spuck. And we got the manual. You're going to need it because the flight manual tells you all about the game. Now, if you've played Star Trek games, and we already know most of the commands are pretty similar, long-range scans, short-range scans, warping, shield, so forth. Are they any different here on the flight manual? It explains how to load the game. Oh, and also on some Dragons, you can speed up the game by typing the poke command, and we did this on Wizard War. Maybe we'll poke the game this time. Here's how you load the game. You select the degree of difficulty. You got 0 through 9 and how long you want the game to play. 0, 1, or 2. In other words, how large is this galaxy where you're trying to destroy Klingons? Dragon Trek is a real-time game. Yes, real-time Star Trek is the way to go. It explains what the tactical status display is like. Everything that you see on the screen, it's breaking it all down, telling you what it is. You have the green U is where Lieutenant Uhura. Oh, they are using Star Trek names. Does that mean there is Klingons or Romulans? Oh, here we go. We got an example of what the tactical display looks like, but not really. It's on its side. But there's our Enterprise. Looks exactly like, wow, they even said USS Enterprise. This is not licensed at all by Star Trek. The original mainframe obviously wasn't either, but majority of these games, they try to work around it, calling things like, instead of Klingons, they're called Klingoffs. Something just to make it not exactly like Star Trek, but so far, whoa, that's the USS Enterprise right there. Oh, Curtis is saying, yeah, if you were on the Dragon 32 or the TRS-80 color computer, in fact, Curtis in the chat, whenever you play anything on those computers, he's usually the one saying, poke this game, make it go faster. So I guess we'll do it for this one, make it go faster, because if everyone's doing it, we might as well do it, right? There's the Klingon Commander, what stars look like. You can use the keyboard controls, but this one uses the analog joystick. Whenever you're in impulse power, your ship can move with the joystick, which is so cool. Oh, that's a good one too. I like that. So here we go. There's all the commands we can use for the game. L, S, W still warp drive, U for Uhura, damage control, hyper probe, C to see the commands. Oh, okay, that's nice. Is that really? Displays the summary of commands. C, okay, remember that one. There's movement and docking and how that works. All the weapon systems, firing your phasers, photon torpedoes. It's got it all. Oh, it's even got black holes, which some of the later Star Trek variants had, besides Klingons, Galactic Barret, and Supernova. That's so cool. So here you go, command summary right there. It's like a reference card. Awesome. So pause the video to see all of the manual before you dive into Dragon Trek. Let's pop in and play some Dragon Trek. Salamander Software at sometime in November 1982. I'm excited to get into this one. First thing I want to do, though, is I'm going to add RAM extension just so we don't have any crashes on us. And after we do that, now let's poke the game, I believe. C-load and then run. Yeah, let's try it. Does it? There it is. After we load, now we poke. Poke 65495, comma 0. And run it. We've successfully poked Dragon Trek. Look how fast the screen's loading. Love it. There we go. Oh, yeah. Thanks for the heads up for those in the chat, Curtis. So degree of difficulty, we are pros with Star Trek games, but we're most likely going to die no matter what. I'll go ahead and say for degree of difficulty, we're going with level 2. Enter length of game. We're not playing a long one, so we're going to go with 0. Lieutenant, your reporting orders are coming in now, sir. Yes. There we go. It is just like old school Star Trek games. The force of 30 Klingons has invaded Federation space. Your mission is to rid the galaxy of the menace. 3 star bases are standing by. Press any key to start. Nice. There's the start 8 in the bottom left corner. And if you're looking around the border and seeing Dragon 64, I've said this before, right now it is only the Dragon 32. That's how much memory it has. By next year, 1983, they'll have an upgrade and another model called the Dragon 64. Most people nowadays that play this home computer are playing on a Dragon 64. I don't know anyone that would be playing on a Dragon 32. That's why the border looks like that. And because as we see games in 1983, it'll all be the same anyway. All right, so impulse power. Can I use it to move around? That's what I want to see. Oh, yes, I can. Joystick works. Look at my Enterprise fly around with joystick control. That's always a great plus. So nothing's really here in this area. So what we're going to do is I'm going to be using some long-range scan and seeing what's around us. So anything that's red would be where the Klingons are. So it looks like we got Space 3-1 will give us a fight. That looks pretty good. So what we'll do is warp. Sulu says warp drive engage. Where are we going? 3, 1. Engage. Do I get a cool warp animation? Darn, I don't. All right, quick, turn shields on. We want everything to shields. Quickly. 3,000 units. Almost all of our energy. Shields need to be up because we're getting destroyed right now. And then come back. Now, you notice it's all real time. As I'm flying around. Oh, can I not? Oh, I can't fire? Quick, shoot him. I need to destroy him as fast as I can. Okay, there you go. We got 1, 2 phasers. So 1. No way. I think they destroyed our weapons, so we can't use them. I'm trying to fire them. What about photon torpedoes? We've already got hit too many times. We should have turned shields on before we warped over here. Okay, 4's torpedoes. Let's try torpedoes. No, it is damaged. Can we warp out of here? Quick, go back to 3, 2. Whew. Okay, now, can we fire anything now? No, it says it works, at least for right now. What does it say for status report? So this strategy game works and plays pretty much similar to all the other Star Trek games. It has a few things that tweak it to make it a little bit better. The reason this is going so fast is because we poked it, but the same commands that we've seen for all these other Star Trek variants are there. There's some that have a few elements they leave behind, like, black holes, supernovas, and so forth. Some of them have limited weapons and commands that you can do, but majority of the same commands are in all the Star Trek games we played. Short range scan, long range scan, and we've even played some Star Trek games that it's just text or ASCII characters on the screen, and that's it. There's nothing else. In the chat, thanks Jeremiah. Scotty's down there giving it all she's got. Well, we managed to run away from them, so I want to see if we can do a damage report. What do we got? Damage control repairs are underway. So right now it's showing the start date slowly moving by. The real time, oh, there we go. So you can see we're in a safe area where we have a command base, and now all of our energy's coming back. We're about to get torpedoes back. Wait for it. Nice. I really like the real-time element. Okay, all repairs complete. Now we're in a good area. Let's do again long-range scan, but make sure, yeah, shields are on, so we're good. So you can see we're in the yellow area. Gosh, Klingons are all over the place. Okay, let's go back to where let's try warping to 2-0 and see what that happens. So I'm going to go with a warp. Sulu's going to come on. We got shields on. I remember when we're going to 2-0. Engage. No cool. Quick, fire. Yes. Oh man, there's 3 Klingons here. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Okay, photon torpedoes, fast. Quickly. No way, I can control the photon torpedo with my joystick? I am directing where it goes. Awesome, do it again. How many photon torpedoes do we have? Yes, do it again. I'm able to move it with the joystick. I can't believe it. No way! Do another one. Yes, blow them all up. Quickly. At least shields are holding. Yes, we did it. Back to the long-range scan. This area is complete, so 2 zeros all set. So in a way, if you're familiar with Star Raiders or any games that we've seen that are close to Star Raiders, I always say the 1971 mainframe Star Trek was like they took that idea, this idea, and then added space combat, where you're actually flying from a first-person perspective. All this one is more of a strategy, managing your resources, making sure you have enough energy to complete your mission, destroy all the Klingons. I can't believe it that I was controlling photon torpedoes. Okay, so this area looks pretty clear. So if we move to, let's try 3-0 and see what's up there, unless we need to get our energy back. I believe if we do damage report, what do we look like? We're looking pretty good. Nice. All right, 3-0, here we go, warping. Energy is only at 764 though. All right, it should be pretty close. 3-0. Engage. I missed the cool animation that they had on it, though. All right, quickly, photon torpedo. Yes. I'm just going to, when I know how effective it is against the Klingons, I'm just going to destroy them like that. Yes, go. Do it again. Pop another one out. Yes. Go. He's like right by my head. Look how many shots the Klingons get in, though, while I'm trying to destroy them. Nice. I love that idea, because most of the time when you play the Star Trek games, you're just saying the command for the shot, and then it just tells you what happens. There's really not a whole lot of animation or activity, so this is pretty cool that they allow you to do that. All right, so this is our 61st Star Trek variant that we've seen so far. This does have some elements of how well everything's responding, working, and the presentation's pretty good. I would still say this is not as good as some of the other Star Trek games we played, like Galactic Attack for the Apple II, or Star Trek 3 that was on the TRS-80 color computer, or Video Trek 88 that was on IBM computers or MS-DOS. It's not the same level as those games. This is the same level as some other games we played, like Space Warp on the BBC Micro, or Star Trek 3.5 on the Atari home computer, or Star Trek, the computer program on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. It's around the same level as that. Yeah, I'm seeing in the chat some people throwing out some 3.5s. I'm around the 3.5, 4-star range for all the games you could play. I like the way that they're incorporating not everything we've seen with Star Trek games, because there's some games that have really good presentation, and this one, it's still very good, and yeah, I'd say above average. Someone threw out 3.4. If only I could. All right, let's warp, or long-range scan. Where's our next destination? Let's head to, we're looking pretty good actually right now. Let's head to 3-1 and then blow up and see if there's any animation there. Ready, and warp. Where are we going? 3-1. Let it be so. Uh-oh, we're out of energy? Uh-oh. I guess that's where we'll stop then. So there you go, a taste of Dragon Trek. Scotty did give it all he could, and we have no more energy now. So of all the games you could play across all home computers, in a way, this is average, because there's so many Star Trek games you could play. But because of the slight nuance and tweak and what they've done to this to make it still fun to play, after everything, I'll still say about 3.5 stars. Yeah, in fact, is the chat totally saying 3.5 stars? Is everyone? Wow, look at that. And it's true. I don't even know if you're a Trekkie fan or not, but if you were into computers right now, you were. It was just law. You had to be a Star Trek fan. So there you go, 3.5 stars for Dragon Trek. We're all done now. There's no more Star Trek variants, right? Please tell me there's no more Star Trek variants. All right, let's see what our next game is. Coming up next on the TRS-80, original TRS-80, this is Escape from Pulsar 7. That's right. I don't know what happened to the other 6 games because I don't think there is any. Let's take a look at the box for Escape from Pulsar 7. So I don't think this was the very first box. This is a later box for Escape from Pulsar 7 because the original one on TRS-80 is kind of tricky to come by. This one is the 140th game that we played for the original TRS-80, Model 1 or Model 3. And I don't think it says it here, but this game's by Mullimerks, or originally published by Mullimerks on the TRS-80. This is the 7th game that we've seen by Mullimerks. This one, though, the front of the box is sci-fi-ish. I guess so. This is my knowledge, possibly the first box of Escape from Pulsar 7. This looks like it would be the first box. Dude, looks like we're a hippie living in space, blowing up some aliens. That's pretty cool. There it is. And the ad you would have seen for magazines at the time. For the TRS-80, we got the other games that have been done in this series, because it's kind of what they call the Brian Howarth's Mysterious Adventure series. This is the fourth game in the series or fifth game in the series, depending on how you're calculating it. Originally, Brian Howarth did adventure games where they worked with Scott Adams on. This is the ninth game that we've seen by Brian Howarth here on Chronologically Gaming. He originally did Mission Impossible with Scott Adams, and then he used the same engine with approval from Scott Adams to make these other games. And so you can see we got on the TRS-80, we saw the Golden Baton, the Time Machine, the Arrow of Death Part 1, the Arrow of Death Part 2, and Part 2 we also have seen on the Atari home computer and in MS-DOS. So you could say Arrow of Death is one game, or you could say Arrow of Death is two games, because it was split into two parts. And so this could be his fourth game in the series or his fifth game in the series. On the Commodore VIC-20, I mentioned this when we played Arrow of Death. There's only one version or one game called Arrow of Death on the Commodore VIC-20, and they don't have the part 2. So if you only had a Commodore VIC-20, you'd be stuck with part 1 and never know the conclusion to the story. I'm so sorry. All right, so besides the ad you would have seen, this is the map, or one of the maps that I was able to muster up for Escape from Pulsar 7, because it's yet another text adventure game. Quick, memorize the map. Right now in November 1982, you'd be writing it down, grid paper and all. And the example of the screenshot. Oh yes, rock on. Here's one of the manuals I found for Escape from Pulsar 7. This includes pretty much all the Mysterious Adventure games. It goes through, this is the Color Genie, which we haven't seen yet, but it does say Mollemerks, who was the publisher, and all the Mysterious Adventures and the synopsis of everything, including here the Golden Baton, the Time Machine, which we've already seen, the Arrow of Death, Part 1 or Part 2. Does it even say? There it is, yeah, Arrow of Death Part 2, which you only got, at least so far, on the TRS-80 and the Atari home computer and MS-DOS, but not on the Commodore VIC-20. But here it is, Escape from Pulsar 7. You are alone, or almost alone, on the space freighter Pulsar 7. As you sit in the relatively safety of the social room, your thoughts drift unwillingly back to the 2 weeks ago when the nightmare began. And here's the story. Look at all that lore. It is a sci-fi themed text adventure game, part of the Brian Howarth Mysterious Adventure series. Oh yes. Nice. And then they have other titles that we don't care about. All we care about is Escape from Pulsar 7. Let's pop in and play some text adventure games. Brian Howarth, Werner Barnes, at some time in November 1982. One of the boxes that I showed may have been the later Digital Fantasia release. Possibly, I'm not really sure. All right, so let's do Adventure. I'm ready for adventure. Which one? Number 5, because it's, you know, Golden Baton, Time Machine, Arrow of Death Part 1, Arrow of Death Part 2, and this one is the next one. And this right here is the first time you could ever play Escape from Pulsar 7. What is my name? Chrono. Thanks for asking. All right, we're ready to play. The other person that was involved with this, I'm actually not sure what Werner Barnes did for this game. I'm just going to give the credit to Brian Howarth, so I'm not sure if he did anything at all. Use the old save game. No. There it is. Yes. Engine originally Bruce Hansen did to help with Scott Adams. This program will let you have an adventure without leaving your TRS-80. And it's very similar to how the Scott Adams adventure games start. How about that? Nice. So, the space freighter Pulsar 7 is returning from a distant planet where it collected mysterious creature for the intergalactic zoo. Unfortunately, the creature escapes and starts killing the crew. You have to make it to the escape pod without getting killed, which means this game is inspired by the movie Alien, Ridley Scott's Alien. Your task is flee from your spaceship, which has been infested by the alien. Timing is tight, so don't waste too much time or the creature will find you and kill you off. So in this game, we're trying to accomplish 3 goals. Make the alien creature fall asleep, find the equipment to allow you to leave the ship, and then find the escape craft. And that's what we need to do. All right, so here we go. Enter to start the adventure. We're ready. It splits the screen up like we've seen with the other adventure games. I'm in the freighter social room. Visible items are the couch, the closed steel door, and the sign. And then they show the obvious exit. So it gives me the warm and fuzzies like we played a Scott Adams adventure game. Oh, and there it is at the bottom. Dedicated to Werner's mother, Mildred. Oh, maybe that's why Werner's in the game. All right, tell me what to do. I want to inventory. Can I do INV? You don't have INV something. Inventory. I'm carrying a watch. Well, you know what? I don't want that watch. Drop that watch. No watches here. All right, now look. What do we have again? We have visibly a watch, a couch, a closed steel door, and a sign. What's the sign say? Sign says Pulsar 7 crew only. Oh, because we're on the Pulsar 7. Okay, makes sense. All right, let's shift that couch in another position. Oh, and when we shifted it, we found something. A dull illuminate rod. No way, another rod in a video game? I think we should start marking this for text adventure games. There's a lot of rods out there. Get rod. In rod we trust. Now, let's head south. We're in the crewman's cabin. Visible items are the crewman's bunk and an open door. Okay, got it. Close that door. That's kind of bizarre for an adventure game to have an open door. There you go, it's closed. Okay, something happened. What? Does it say what happened? It does not. All right, so go to the bunk. There's an auto-dispense pillow that popped out. No way, okay. Shift that pillow to another spot. Oh, and when we shift the pillow... By the way, these verbs I'm using is because I'm following a walkthrough. I want everyone to experience the difficulty of text adventure games because they are not meant to just play through in one setting. You would be trying verb after verb and lots of different things. How would you know to shift the pillow or if shift is the correct verb to move the pillow so that something's visible? So now we've made the circuit board visible. Welcome to adventuring in November 1982. It's going to be like this for a while. I believe until 1986 or 7 maybe, we'll stop seeing as many text adventure games, but bring it on. We're going to have a lot. All right, we got a circuit board there. Get that board. I'll take a circuit board. Now we got it. Nice. All right, let's head down now. Back to the crewman's cabin. We can see the open door is here, or another open door. Let's head north. I'm in the freighter's social room, just where we started at the beginning of the game. Let's head west now. I never would have guessed shift ever on a verb list either. All right, now we're in the crewman's cabin. We got a crewman's bunk here. All right, now this is great. Go bunk. I don't know what go bunk did, but now there's a large air vent that's visible. How are you supposed to know go bunk? Oh, man. Now, if you've been tuning in and seeing Chronologically Gaming since the beginning, when we played Sierra's first masterpiece, graphic adventure game Mystery House, we were stuck on getting in the house itself for about 20 minutes before we realized it was go door. That was back when we were not looking at any walkthroughs. We were just, checking out, playing the game, and experiencing it as if it was at the actual time that the game came out. Yeah, not doing that anymore. I never would have guessed go bunk. How in the world would you know go bunk? And then now we see the vent, go bunk. So basically go bunk means you're going to get on the bunk. It's like stand on the bunk. So now we can see the vent. So now we should be able to say go vent. And yes, we're climbing in the large air vent and there's dust. Feels a lot like Alien now, right? Oh, man. Oh, yeah, and that's true. In the chat, we are seeing lots of graphic adventures, too, or text adventure games with graphics, like that take the exact same idea and just add a few pictures to it. All right, so the dust is here. I don't like dust. Dust is not good. Let's see what happens. I'm in the junction of 3 passages. I can go south, east, and west. Okay, let's head east. Okay, and then I'm in the ship's bridge. Wait, was I supposed to get the dust? Let's head back west. Let's see. And south. Yeah, I'm at the junction of 3 passages still. So I don't know if we can get out of the next place or if we need to pick up that dust. I'm not sure. I know, if you have graphics, then where's the imagination? You need to have just text so you can use only your imagination to play, right? All right, there's our taste of Escape from Pulsar 7. As usual, we are not going to be able to finish this game, but do not worry. This game is released on lots and lots of home computers, and so we will be seeing this game taking over where we left off this time, here on Chronologically Gaming. So, as I mentioned with adventure games, there's another podcast called Ringa in Blue doing adventure games in order of release, chronologically, trying to play every text adventure game. They are where we are in 1982, and they started, back and even played mainframe adventure games. So I'm going to include the link for Ringa in Blue's write-up on Escape from Pulsar 7. Check that one out. In the meantime, of all the games you could play right now on all home computers, it's a text adventure game. That's pretty average. The way this one responds and works, in some regards, I could say, because we've rated Scott Adams adventure games, 3.5, maybe 4 stars, I'd still say for this one, Escape from Pulsar 7 is a right down the middle 3. It's average for all the games you could play, whether you're an adventure game or not. Yes, I see a 2.5 that's in the chat right now, and then a 3 too. But average for everything that's up to this point. You'd have some fun. And by the way, this was in the United Kingdom. Brian Howarth released most of these over there, so they weren't in the United States yet, at least this first version that we're looking at here. Yeah, you bet, Mark. All right, so after that, let's see what our next game is. We're next going to the Apple II to play Federation. This one's way out there, obscure, hard to find, only a few pictures. So let's pop it and play Federation. This is by Avant-Garde Creations, released at sometime in November 1982. This is the whopping 419th game that we've seen for the Apple II. Give me some Federation. I had to find it in a compilation. A lot of these Apple II games that have one name, one word for the title, are kind of hard to find. This one is the 6th game we've seen by Avant-Garde Creations. They've done games like Race for Midnight, which is a really cool text adventure game, or graphic adventure game, Laser Maze, Zero Gravity Pinball, and Death Race 82. So a lot of inconsistencies there. All right, what difficulty do we want? I don't know what we're getting into. I'll go with 1. What is Federation? It works. Can we play? Oh, joystick doesn't work. Oh gosh, there's no joystick control. What? Are you flipping kidding me? I don't believe it. Oh, and it has what appears to be, okay, it's the old school cursor keys on the Apple II. So I'm able to move up, down. Can I move left and right? Let's see, it should be, there's my fire. Okay, got it. Is it Defender or is it Scramble? Looks like we got comets to avoid. The bottom of the screen's pretty cool. All right, let's see. I should have a bomb, right? I think so. Let me see. Now, the control is a really simple fire shot, but I should have a bomb. There it is. If you hit B, you drop this measly bomb, but you're meant to blow up the base that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And I should be able to move left and right if I can. But what in the world? There's only one enemy type? Oh, and the one enemy type blew me up. It's because I was talking about him. Okay, so control-wise, it's pretty very simple. Scrolling, though, is still pretty cool as far as video games go. And the way that they're doing what appears to be like a kind of parallax scroll. But what you're seeing here is the entire game. This is it. There is that one enemy type, a comet to avoid, and a base to blow up. So it's so simple that you could even call it a tech demo. Oh, the base shot me. I didn't know it could do that. Why can I turn around? Let me find my my key to face the other way. Oh, it should be... Oh, I know what it is. I bet it's the... There it is. Got it. They usually use the arrow keys and then enter and backslash. So that switches you around. The way that it's doing this, it's not really like Defender. It does let you go back and forth. There's no radar. There's no anyone to save or rescue. Our rating is 0. Press any key. Yeah, your fleet has been virtually destroyed. Yeah, it has. Yes, Psychosis, this is it. All it is how far you can get. Maybe I should raise the difficulty. Let's die faster. Difficulty 5. And see if this works at all. It is a shoot 'em up. It is very limited, though. Of all the games we've seen up to this point, this is our 158th shoot 'em up. We're scrolling shoot 'em up. On home computers, this one is the 95th that we've seen. And on the Apple II, this is the 18th shoot 'em up. There is, out of all those games on the Apple II, 7 of those games on the Apple II are Defender variants and Scramble variants. So this one is one of those games that's not really exactly Defender, not really exactly Scramble. You know, it's inspired by, but I couldn't pin and say it's the same thing. Let's see if we can bomb this. Get lower, bomb. What? Where's my bomb? Oh, you can't bomb on the lowest level? That is so cheap. Let's try it again. Nice and easy. Where's that base? I know it's coming. No, and the base shot me again. And we're already dead, and the whole thing's over again. Oh my gosh. So because we've cataloged and broken down how many games we've seen, shoot 'em ups on all systems and so forth, and we know how many games are on the Apple II that are like this, similar to this, that are not exactly Defender, not exactly Scramble, is this the same game as Astro Attack by the Software Guild? Because it is playing exactly like Astro Attack. So it's not super bad, but it is around the range of what in the world's going on. Like, it's just very simple. It has the graphics going for it, but the gameplay is very limited. Looking over in the chat, wow, I must have not really sold the game because I'm seeing even a 1-star out there. 2 stars of everything you can see. Yeah, the parallax effect of this is cool, but you have to remember, we've played games by Nasir Gabelli that are really cranking the graphics up, that look good. This one is, it's so limited. Plus, the other downside is it's only keyboard controlled. I have analog joysticks and paddles plugged in. Nothing. You only can play with keyboard. Yikes. Yeah, that's true. I didn't even get 1 point because you had to shoot the one enemy that's in the sky, avoid the comet, or bomb the base. And that's it. I'm going to try it one more time with difficulty 1. Just to see if I can get a little bit further. Try it. I don't know what's going to happen. All right, here we go. Get my bombs ready, get the timing for the bomb. Can I bomb the other ship? No, it doesn't look like it. I bet you have to fire that one. Yeah, there we go. Bomb it. Bomb it. Nope, turn around. Try it again. Yes! We got it! Still not as satisfying when you consider the other shooters out there. So I would say this game has games that are worse than this. There is Microscopic Journey. That's worse than this as a shoot 'em up. There's also Bomber Attack, the one by Avalon Hill. That one is worse than this game. So it is not the worst shoot 'em up, but I like that it has difficulty options, even though they really didn't seem to do too much. Yeah, right? We actually get 1 point. Whoa, that's the lowest scoring I've ever seen in a game, too. Yikes. So there you go. That's Federation. I'm pretty sure this is the same game as Astro Attack, which we've already seen on the show. So because we've already seen this earlier in 1982, I'm not sure which one came out first. I'm going to have to rate this the same rating we rated Astro Attack when we originally saw it. Because it feels and it responds just like the same game. So I'm actually not going to call it bad. I'm going to say this is subpar, average for the games that you can play. But, I mean, the gameplay's not, lacking. You know what? Because we've seen so much at this point, I'm going to have to go down to 2. I'll say 2 stars still for all the games you can see, right? Yeah, I know. With how games cost. If you got this, it'd be so disappointing because it would look good on screenshots on magazines, right? There you go. Marshall's throwing out 2.5, but I don't know. I'd be rating it the same as Astro Attack, but I don't think it's exactly the same. All right, that's where we got to put our video gaming on pause. All over the world, every single video game in order of release. Thanks again for everyone that's here at the end of the whole episode. If you've been watching later, if you're here right now for the live show, thanks so much for attending. I know you have to tune in and come at the right time because we do this show in a format that's kind of like, you know, a TV show, being there on time. So I know you had to be here on time for the live show, and I really appreciate it. If you ever wonder why or how we get all this information, or I'm spouting out everything, I do have a little notes that I'm looking at as cheat sheets, but a lot of these notes are based on all the video games we've ever played. If you look at the links down below, there's a big link, a Google Sheets link, that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go to that link, it looks like this. This is the entire list of everything we've ever played for Chronologically Gaming. So you can see this is in order chronologically, and it's giving you a lot of information about every single game. Sometimes even too much information. But if you want to find a certain game to see if we played it, like you're like, did he ever play Berserk? You can just do a quick search, and then it'll show up the Berserks that we played. And I just looked up the name Berserk, but you can see the first one that pops up, because it goes in alphabetical order, is the Berserk we played in the arcade. And then from the Berserk in the arcade, you can get the developers, the publishers, the release date that we said the release date was, what the genre is for the game. You have the additional info of just anything else we're cataloging to look things up, what region it was released in, how many play modes it is. Like if you're looking for video games to see if you can play them with friends or how many people you can play with. We have the maximum number of players for each game, and then what we rated it on the show, either while it was live or a little bit afterwards. And then what kind of release it was, if it was a type-in game you can see here, or if it's an actual release. And then you can go to the side and it has any alternate names or notes or firsts about the game. So it's a lot of information about the games. And if you get a chance to look at the list and you see something that needs a correction, please drop me a line either in our Discord or tell us. You can email me directly, chronologicallygaming@gmail.com, because I love to make this as comprehensive and accurate as possible. I've been taking lots of sources, but I mean, you got to admit, the release dates are really hard to come by. One thing that's cool about the list, too, is if you want to go right to a game and watch that game, like this Berserk example when we had in the arcade, if you click the link and go to the link, it goes right into the YouTube timestamp of that game. It's going through the ad that's right here, but then after it goes through the ad, then you see the moment that we played that and can get an example of what the game's like to play. So there it is, Berserk in the arcade, and we went right to it to see it. Pretty cool. All right, so now it's time to put the video game playing on pause. And be sure to tune in next time on Chronologically Gaming. Next time, we're going to have Felix in the factory, 4 is up, and the Force will be with us, always. That's it for today, and like I always say, when adventuring in 1982, get your graph paper, use your wits, your brain, your head, and your mind. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.